Okay, so back when For Honor was like in beta, it reminded me of Mountain Blade because I would play Mountain Blade like crazy, and then Mountain Blade Warband I would play that like crazy, and now there's Bannerlord, which I haven't played yet. I have the beta, but I haven't played it yet. But anyway, uh, I thought the fighting mechanic, the guard system at least, was like Mountain Blade, and that was actually a plus to me. I actually enjoy that kind of fighting. So when I went into For Honor beta, I had a blast, and I'm like playing it with my friends, and we enjoyed it and whatnot. Um, but even then, we knew that you know there were some things that just didn't quite add up. For example, like the parry system, basically the reaction part of the game, the reaction systems or mechanics. That's not in like Mountain Blade, um, which kind of reminds me of a mod that was for Warband, Mountain Blade Warband, and it was called CRPG. It was very popular, and you would basically go on a browser and make your character and go into the game and fight other players, and then come back to the website, look at how much gold you got, use it, or in this case, if For Honor, steal, and then buy armor, buy some weapons and stuff like that, put your stat points in, and essentially make your build from scratch, towards your playstyle and whatnot. No one complained about that guard system. Not just not the mod itself, but Warband, like Mountain Blade. No one complained about that guard system, at least not that I saw. But for Honor, people definitely have an issue with it, like especially new players like myself. I personally don't complain about it all that much. It leaves me confused at times too. Like for example, parries. You can go in training and parry all day long without fail. But then when you go in the game and someone swings at you and you should parry, it doesn't happen. You get hit. And that, I've seen that time and time again, where they know what you're doing. Like they'll see like someone do an attack that is coming. You know what attack they're going to use, and you're ready for it. And then here you are ready to parry it, but you get hit anyway. So that, I think that causes like rage quits where people get hit when they shouldn't. And or for assassins, they want to block or counterattack, and so they dodge into the attack and get hit, but you can do that in training perfectly, against any bot. You can put the bot like on like level 4, and you'll get those. Like when you expect to parry and or counterattack, you'll get it, but once you go online, that's not that's not how it works. It doesn't always work. And I feel like that is one of the issues. But then you got some really good players where it seems to be working just fine for them. Like they always, like when you got people deflecting and parrying for days. They're doing it just fine. But I feel like a lot of players, not so much. There's times I swing where they're waiting for it and they get hit. And I'm thinking like, yeah, you definitely was probably trying to parry and somehow you got hit. So I mean, and it's not, I don't think it's ping, because I'll look at that too and I'll see everyone has like 20, 40 something ping ms or whatever, and they're still getting hit. So I don't quite get it. But it's also the balance by far. The balance is so bad that I feel that Ubisoft is not even paying attention to what players want in the game. That's how I feel. I don't think players that are still playing For Honor want the game to be as it currently is with the balance, because when I play the game, basically, there's many characters where I wonder, or heroes, where I wonder what their purpose is. What are they doing there? In fact, let's look at these heroes, because I have many questions for veteran players, which I want to talk about, because that's one of the issues too of veteran players. I'm sorry, but I have to mention you guys, but I also want veteran players to answer these questions, because this leaves me confused. Ubisoft should be answering these questions, but let's look at that real quick. Okay, now let's see. Now, as you can see, I have quite a few characters that have not been unlocked. Now, as I explained earlier, in my quitting and coming back to the game to quit again and come back to the game, for me to come back this time, this marching fire, I didn't even know what that was. So I realized, okay, that's an expansion, and they have all these Chinese characters, and I don't know what they do. So I'm already at a disadvantage. I didn't know what they do at all, and all the other factions have like extra characters, it seems. So so now it's like I'm really at a disadvantage, and that adds to the reason why the game just does not like at all have any incentive to keep players in the game, because you have the worst matchmaking system. Like, you will literally be pitted against veterans. Like, you're a noob. You just came in the game. Like, you'll have like rep 1, like you just started, right? And you'll be pitted against someone with 200, and it's like, what? And you realize, like, okay, the game is so bad. The game is doing so bad that it has no population. Like, there's just no population. So finding people around your like skill is just rare. It's rare when you come across anyone around your skill level. And not only that, but the problem with playing good players, because I've seen good players or veteran players say, well, you should play against us because we'll make you good. Well, that's true. You're forced to do things that you're uncomfortable with as a noob to fight a veteran player, but it's not fun. I'm sorry. You may learn faster and be forced to do things that you normally wouldn't do, but that does not make it fun. I'm sorry, it doesn't. You want to learn at your own pace and like just, be able to play and then learn as you go, but you don't have that luxury, not in For Honor. And that's another thing. It's called For Honor, but there is no honor. There's no honor. It's like quadruple team heaven. Like, you go in the game, you realize all the game modes are ignored except for duel and dominion, and it's like, what's the point of adding any game mode and no one to touch it? There's an issue there. And then it's like, you go in dominion and there is no one-on-ones. Everyone is killing everyone. Like, you'll be in the midst of about to kill someone, and you get hit in the back by somebody else, and they'll wail on you and you're dead or something like that. Also, I hate the targeting system too, because I'm not used to this targeting system. Sometimes by the time I target who I want to target, they've eaten up through my HP already. I'm dead. Like, I for the life of me can't get used to the targeting system. It never targets who I want to, and how I want to. It just it just gets me killed a lot of times. Besides being double teamed, triple teamed, quadruple teamed, the targeting gets me killed a lot as well. But anyway, back to this roster. Now, looking at this roster, you have Warden, like, you know, I'm on Warden right now. But Conqueror. Now look at these descriptions though. Warden, you know, Vanguard, easy, adaptable, straightforward. You know, you have Peacekeeper, Assassin. You know, I guess medium difficulty, fast counterattacker. Well, I disagree with these. I disagree with these descriptions. I don't think Peacekeeper is fast, and I don't even look at Peacekeeper as a counterattacker. She has a counterattack. Assassins have counterattacks. Yeah, I get it. But I don't look at Assassin as counterattackers or you know, fast. The only assassin I would say is fast is Orochi. Orochi is the only hero I see that is fast, as in I can just spam light attack all day long and kill you with it. Like, that's the only hero I've seen in the game that is actually fast. So I you know, right off the bat, I disagree with these descriptions. And I feel like maybe these descriptions were dead on in a beta, like when the game launched, but they're not right now. And on that same note, this is an assassin, right? Peacekeeper, you're an assassin, right? Should you not assassinate people then? You're an assassin. Like, why are you not assassinating people? This is where I have issues with the game. Like, if you're an assassin, then I feel like, okay, assassins are, you know, stealthy, they're, you know, fragile, but they're literally like glass cannons. Like, they're fragile, you can kill them easily, but they can kill you easily. Like, it don't take no time for them to kill you, especially if they get the drop on you or something like that. That's what I expect from an assassin, but that's not how it goes in this game. The assassin is just someone you get a few hits on and they're dead. Like, that's how I see the assassin. I don't see the assassin as, oh, like, they get the drop on you and it's game over. Like, no. That's why I'm looking at this like, what is an assassin for Ubisoft? Because that makes no sense. And look, you got hybrid, and even hybrid confuses me, because I mean, look, you have Goki, right? The Shogoki, a heavy. I look at the Goki as the heavy, but now I look at the Goki like, what is your purpose in the game? Because it says Shogoki is a disabler and hard hitter. That's true, he hits hard, but I rather roll with a Hitokiri than a Goki, because the Hitokiri also hits hard. He's a heavy, right? He's a heavy, he hits hard, but he's not slow. You know, he's not as slow as the Shogoki. I just feel like even in the training for Shogoki, it's like, well, do this light attack and do this heavy attack. Trade blows, basically, with your enemy. Well, again, I have to question what's the point of a heavy, because everyone seems to have hyper armor. There's hyper armor everywhere. So what is the point of some of these heroes? Like, some of these heroes, like, if you want to give everyone like a certain role to play, you have to really put that in there. Like, you have to really make that stick out, because I don't feel like it does. I feel like for example, Shinobi. This is my favorite hero, but I also feel it's the most garbage hero in the game. I'm sorry, Shinobi is garbage. And I love Shinobi, but I think it's garbage, a garbage class, garbage hero, because even when I see a Shinobi in the game, I just go after the Shinobi on instinct, because I know I only have to hit him once or twice and he's dead. Literally. I know that if he does his kick, he lost half his stamina with that kick. Because that's what I did. Like, I did a kick on someone and half my stamina was gone. I was like, what? Like, how did I they lost a chunk of stamina too, but I lost half of mine. Like, how do I even do a mix up or a combo and not run out of stam? Like, that's how bad Shinobi is. And he also, like, or at least for me, I can't speak on like pro, like veteran, like Shinobis, but even when I watch veteran Shinobis or veteran players in general, it's like over 90% of your move list is not even used. Like, it's literally you guys using lights or heavies and using feints. That's it. You're not using you're not even using most of your move list. It's just basics. That right there tells me the balancing is bad, that there's a problem. If you got to go straight to basics, you can't use no moves, because if you use any, you're dead, then, you know, that's a problem in itself. And that's how I look at Shinobi. I look at Shinobi where it's like, once you figured out his gimmicks is why I love him, because it's unique. But once you figure out his gimmicks, he's dead. The Shinobi is dead. You figured out his gimmicks. You see that, oh, he did 2 dashes. That means he might do his kick, you know, because he can't do it without doing those 2 dashes. So either he does it or he doesn't. And it's like, you're ready for it because, you know his gimmicks. Oh, he just threw his kukri. Well, he rolled towards me, so he might kick. Like, like he might or might not do it, but it's like, you kind of see, like, he telegraphs everything. It's that bad. His heavy is the slowest heavy I've seen. And I looked at a lot of these characters, and I still feel like the Shinobi's heavy is so slow. Like, maybe it's me, but I just feel like his heavy is slow. I feel like he gets the least executions because his heavy is so bad that he's like, he can't use his heavy much, so it's like he can't even use his poison, like, attack, because he's so dependent on light attacks. So it's like he's not gonna get an execution in, especially like when he's fighting someone who's near death or something. You don't have time to try to hit that person with a heavy, knowing full well he only has to hit you once or twice and you're dead. So it's like, right there, that's broken. Because me playing Shinobi, like, when I came back and started playing Shinobi, and I would die off of 2 hits, or sometimes I would die just from blocking. Like, you take block damage and then I swing and then hyper armor and I'm dead. Like, at some point you realize, like, no matter what you do, you're at a disadvantage. Then I switched characters, right? And it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, wow, I can literally run into people's hits and swing back without a care in the world and kill somebody, because I got so much life. I got hyper armor and all types of stuff. It's like, what's the point of Shinobi then, unless you're gonna run around trolling players and like sweep them and DFA them and stuff like that? Because that's what I use Shinobi for. I don't really, duel people, because that's just, I don't see the point, because he's so bad. And you basically have to work real hard. That's why when I see like a good Shinobi, hats off to that guy, because I know he has to put way more effort to kill you than you have to kill him. And so I respect that, but it's a garbage hero. But again, back to this roster, like, you have assassins that aren't assassins. If there is an assassin, I would say that is Orochi then, because he's the one that's hitting you up really fast and can dash back and then do some more quick hits on you again, and You know, he has a dodge slash and stuff like that. So he can go crazy with his spam. And you know, I saw Ubisoft put up something about spam from the Orochi. Like they're gonna do something where if you're getting spammed, if you attack, like they don't, like their frames aren't, I don't know, like their frames aren't fast enough to hit you back, so you can actually get your hit back in or something to prevent spam or something like that. Like I seen something they're trying to address like spam, and they even had a Orochi like on the cover. So I was like, "Oh, you know the Orochi can spam." You know, I remember they was complaining about Shinobi light attack as spam, or at least the consolers like players were doing that. But I'm on PC though, but I remember they were complaining how fast Shinobi's light is, and to me, Shinobi's light isn't as fast as Orochi. Orochi to me is the fastest in the game. That's just me. I think Orochi's like by far the fastest. Now, again, I feel like Orochi would be the only assassin, the only fast one. Now, Jormungandr, his job, his whole hero is literally to destroy your stamina and then smash you, right? Well, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of these heroes need rework, because in Dominion you don't oftentimes get the time to disable someone's HP and kill them. Like you can like you can definitely like kill people. I've done it a lot, but to drain someone's stamina then kill them, I've done that a few times, but not often. I'll get double teamed like more often than anything else, like especially in Dominion, and I guess in duels you can do this, but because he relies on like using his Jotun, and actually, what do I know? I'm a noob, because I actually saw a player who was using a Jormungandr, and he was so good with it that the entire team could not kill him. That was the first. I think that was the first player I ever encountered where the entire team can attack him and not kill him. He would still be the last one standing, no matter what. To the point where the entire team just realized there's just no killing this guy. We're just gonna leave him alone. And he was a Jormungandr. He was killing everybody. He was blocking everybody from, you know, no matter what we did. And there's veteran players on my team, so they couldn't land a hit on him, and he would always be the last one standing. He would kill everybody. So we just literally would just leave him on his point and just go everywhere else where he was not, because he could not be killed. So I mean, if there's players that good out there, then you know, I don't know. It's just, you can't expect people to be that good though. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of these heroes need reworks, truly, because some of these heroes, I just feel like they don't quite, you know, do what they're supposed to. Like, if they have a role to play, I fail to see it most of the time, because I think even Ubisoft has no clue what they want to do with these heroes. Centurion, like this Centurion, Highlander, those, you know, all these are new to me. Centurion stun locks me a lot. I don't know how you deal with that. Like, there's times where Centurion will just constantly like lock me up to the point where I can't move, dodge, or do anything. I just get stun locked to death. Eventually, I hope I eventually figure that out. But yeah, like, I just feel like it's broken in the sense that these characters, like, Ubisoft don't know what to do with them. And then you have Marching Fire. It's like you're adding new heroes, but you don't even know what you're doing with the ones you got. But you gonna add more heroes to the game? Like, that's what they did. And I remember looking at people's tier list, because I was wondering about that, because I'm used to looking at like Street Fighter and other stuff, like looking at tier lists. I see this one had like some tier lists, and like the Jiang Jonan was like the only one I saw up there where it's like, yeah, this guy's like pretty good in Dominion, and then I was like, well, yeah, I noticed when I fought him, he did get stamina back, so I was like, oh well, that's something. But yeah, but then there's these guys who dance around, and I don't know what they're doing. They're dancing around like in full 360, and I have no idea what's going on. So I need to actually look at these characters like more, because I am clueless for sure when I'm looking at these characters or playing against them. I don't know what they're doing or how they do it, but it's hard to defend against something you don't know anything about. So I guess you have to. I feel like if you play the hero, you understand them way better. Because I'll see someone like play a Jormungandr, and they'll dodge his Jotun, give farewell. I forgot what they call it, but they dodge it because they know it's coming. They played that hero, so they dodge it and stuff like that. But that's another thing about this game. I hope a vet can answer this, but disengagement. There's no disengagement in this game. Now, they would say Nobu. The Nobu is that. They literally would say that. The Nobu like fights at long range. She can disengage whenever she wants. No, she can't. I'm sorry. No, she can't. The disengagement is like non-existent in this game. The only time you can actually disengage and escape is when the other player lets you. That's it. Because oftentimes, not just myself, but other players, I'll see someone run away and there's a gap between the two. And all the other player has to do is hit his light. And he will literally warp and auto aim in and hit the guy. No matter what. So he cannot escape. So it's like he's not locked onto him, but as long as the enemy is, like, you're kind of stuck in this invisible radius where it's like no matter how much you run, they will literally warp to you when they attack you. Now, I'm not talking about like people who have like leap attacks where they can like jump some distance. No, I'm saying like your light attack. Like, people do regular attacks and I'll literally see their body like auto aim and move towards the character and hit them when the animation itself is awkward because you're not supposed to like literally warp the character to the enemy, but that's what happens. Like, they get like kind of warped over there to hit them. So it's like there is no disengagement. You're kind of stuck there. And if there's like 2-on-1, which you'll find a lot in Dominion, 3-on-1 or something like that, you'll be in that situation a lot. Like, good luck getting away. The only time I see people get away is if they're like a cliff, they can jump down and then run or something like that. But if the environment can't save you, you're pretty much dead. Like, you can literally run in front of someone and like roll and they miss you totally. Like, they did an entire like move to hit you and they missed you and you rolled past them and kept running just for them to literally hit light as they turn around and they still hit you. You were already running a couple of seconds after you dodged their first attack, but all they did was turn around and attack and they still hit you. That's kind of like my issue with the game. There's no disengagement because there's times where it's like, okay, I can't fight these two people, especially me. I'm a noob, so it's like I can't fight veteran players, which is like 99% of my like matches. Like, I'm going against people way better than me, which again is weird to me because like when everyone's like on the loading screen and whatnot, why is it that it'll say well, your skill is slightly higher than your allies and enemies or something like that, right? It'll say like your skill is just like, no, I'm a noob. Like my skill is not greater than these rep 200s I'm looking at with diamonds on their armor or whatever. Like my skill's not higher than theirs. Why is it telling me my skill is higher? Like, no. And there's times where like I'll like kill these rep 200s when I shouldn't. Like I don't even understand it. Even I'm like shocked when it happens. It's like, or like if I see myself on the top of the board or something, and I'm like, how is that even possible? I'm not even good. So sometimes I'm just surprised like how that even occurs when I see like people that's way better, and they're like, because for me, if you got rep 200 plus, you put like crazy hours into this game. So to me, you should be like ridiculously good. Not seeing too many good players in this game because that's like all my matches. Like it's rare when I'm coming across other like noobs like myself, and when I do come across one, I feel sorry to even kill that person because I know that person's probably gonna quit. Like my friends that play this game quit. I had a friend who played this game and quit the same day. Like that was it. He had it. Like that's why the game is in the state that it's in. Like that. And I don't equate it to like some Care Bear like thing where it's like, oh, you Care Bear, you can't compete or whatever. Nah, I don't look at it like that because I just feel like the game is unbalanced and it doesn't quite make its mechanics as fluid as it should be. Like when people feel like they should parry and they don't parry, that's frustrating. When people think they blocked and dodged something and they don't, that's frustrating. That makes people quit. That makes people like rage quit and stuff like that. And again, I was watching popular streamers and they quit. they would quit, and I'm like, I'm not playing this game. And I get it. Like it's very, very frustrating, and I feel like there has to be something Ubisoft can do to improve this game. Balance being one of them, but I feel like a lot of these characters need to be reworked entirely. But I don't think Ubisoft is even listening to their own like player base. Honestly, I don't think they're doing that. But yeah, you know, this is just my perspective on this game. I felt like I was ranting, but hopefully veterans of this game can make more sense of this. But I think it has to have like a total rework from top to bottom, and not just the balance, but how the mechanics work. Because if people think they parried, like I was saying, people think they parried and they didn't, that in itself is an issue. Because most of the time in other games, like you can like think you did something, but you know you didn't. Like you understand, like, oh, I must have did something wrong. Like if you can accept it, you're not more likely to like rage quit and get upset. But when you sure you did something, that can be frustrating. But for other noobs that I come across, especially my friends that quit the game, it's a feeling of hopelessness. Like you feel like, I don't know what to do against this guy. Like I can't, there's no hope, there's no way to win. Like you're playing veteran players that know what they're doing, and it's like you just feel a sense of hopelessness that there's nothing you can do to win. You can't stop these feints, you die or whatever. And yeah, you can say get good, and that's true, you do have to get good, but it's hard to encourage people to stay in the game to get good when they don't feel like there's any hope of even doing that. I feel like over time I can get better, but it's just frustrating for me personally to continue playing when I like to get better at my own pace, but you're not afforded that luxury in this game. You just have to literally like get like steamrolled over and over again till you like get better, like until you can. And there's times where I rarely like shine, where I actually do very good against a veteran player and I win. Like, yeah, I get those moments, but I don't know. I just feel like it would be a lot better if there's a huge influx of players that was there to stay. That when you go into matchmaking, it's not going to take like 10 minutes sometimes just to get in the game. That there's a lot of players doing all the game mode, that everyone is enjoying the game. And I feel like they're not going to do that in its current state if it's a rage-inducing game, which it currently is. But that's my 2 cents. That's my perspective pretty much on how For Honor is. I feel like overall the game is cool. The idea of it is still cool. It's just that for it to succeed, you have to get over that huge hurdle of keeping players in the game. You have to have some sort of incentive. I'm not talking about microtransactions or whatever. And while this game has a billion microtransactions and stuff, like all these costumes with different like patterns, which are like I don't see, like I don't have a need for those costumes. I think I don't even think they should be sold for anything, because to me they're just the same costume with different patterns. I think they're all bad. But anyway, I just feel like you have to make it fun for all players. Also, you need to make it so that everyone can use their skills. You know, like if you get to the high level, and this is what I'm just seeing, this is just me as a noob, when I see the high level, like the high level play, it literally seems to be the basics. It doesn't seem to be like people using their move list to like the best way to do it. I just see people using the basics, where it's like, oh, light, heavy, and that's it. Light, heavy, feints, and that's it. A guard break here and there, but it's literally me trying to fool you into getting hit. I'm not going to use any of my moves to do it. I'm just going to, if I use a move, I'm going to feint it most likely. But it seems like the majority of your like move list is not even being used. You're just doing basics and stuff like that. Especially when I watch Shinobi players that are extremely good. Like, it's just basic stuff, because anything else will get you killed. So I feel like it really needs a complete rework. The Prince event is cool because instead of getting double teamed or triple teamed, you at least have the Prince getting the last laugh, which I'd rather have than some other players like ganging up on you. So that's a nice change, at least for me. But even that game mode is like low activity, so I guess people got tired of the Prince like getting the last laugh on everyone and AoEing everyone. So but yeah, maybe some veterans can answer these questions, or or you who's watching this, add your 2 cents if you play For Honor. I should be releasing a video about Street Fighter and some other games, especially Bannerlord, because I have the beta again. I just really need to check it out. So I will be releasing a video on those soon. Anyway, give me a like. And if you're new, subscribe and put in your comments down below. Let me know what you think about For Honor in its current state, and what you would like changed for the game, and like what is your hero and what would you like done to that hero. And on top of that, what do you think Ubisoft is doing? Like, what do you think Ubisoft is actually paying attention to what players are doing, or do you think they're in like their own like Wonderland or something, like just just coming up with like their own, because it seems like, because again, I have to go back to the Shinobi. It's like you broke this character already, like to the point I don't even see it as viable, but you're gonna continue nerfing it. And it's like, I don't know, I'm just lost. I'm just lost on that. So yeah, tell me what you guys think, because I'm very curious. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time.